first up on this journey is the manifestor that has a closed and repelling aura. And it's an aura that challenges and initiates. And it's the most dense, the most solid aura, right? So you can almost imagine, like, I imagine the manifestor aura is like a submarine underwater, where it's just this big metal thing that's just like going to like push its way through. Right? It's there. That aura is, it's a protection of them. The protection of the closed and repelling aura provides exceptional ability to manifest what they envision without being interfered with. The manifestor is here to like push through their own thing and not be interfered with others. It's just what their journey is about. And so through history, manifestors have often been in positions of rulership, the warrior, the king, the high priest. They've conquered and defended kingdoms. They were the kings and the pharaohs and the people in charge, and that can make something happen because they can initiate and they can push it into the world.
Absolutely. I can do. You can't compete with me because I keep can doing, and I don't stop. And that's what gave them, basically they were the rulers of the world up until the 9th century change, when that started to shift. With this challenging aura, and the manifestor wants to initiate. That's their theme. Closed and repelling should really be teased out. It's not closed and repelling to anything juicy and good and love and all of these things. It's just that its capacity to close off comes immediately with the manifestor's initiation. As soon as they're initiating something or moving towards something, other things get repelled out of the way. It's literally just the bumper in front of the car that's pushing the things out of the way. That's what this aura is designed to do. That's the close. It's closed and repelling to too much resistance.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's part of like why the manifestor strategy is to inform, right? Because it's like, if you look at our little graphic, it's like you have the body graph, and then it's like you have these arrows pushing out, and it is solid and it is pushing through. And so when a manifestor like fails to inform, it's like when you're driving behind somebody and all of a sudden out of nowhere they're like turning, and you have to slam on your brakes and you have to wait for them, and you're like mad at them, and you're like, why didn't you turn on your signal, right? So it's just, you get smashed into by manifestors who fail to inform. It gets in their own way. Whereas when a manifestor is like, hey, I'm going to do this, or like they turn on their little directional signal, you're like, oh, cool, do what you want. Like, I have a manifestor friend who will just like announce, like, I'm going to go do this. And every time she does, I'm like, I don't even care. Why are you even telling me? But if she wouldn't tell me, like, what are you doing? Because it's like, you can feel this like impact you get smashed into, right? Like, I feel like the manifestor can either be like Moses parting the Red Sea and like going through and like leading a new direction, or they're like the Kool-Aid man, just like bashing into the wall. And you're like, what is going on? Like, what is wrong with you? Just tell me what you're doing. And so manifestors will be afraid that if they tell people what they're doing, then they're going to be scolded, they're going to be stopped, they're going to be reprimanded, because oftentimes the manifestor in the past, when they just try to do something, they get yelled at, they get in trouble, they, whatever bad things happen. So they kind of get to this point where like, I can't tell anyone, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do, because otherwise they're going to try to stop me. But it bites them, because then they end up bashing into people and people don't like it. So just tell what you're doing and nobody will care. It just like completely like drops all resistance when manifestors just tell what they're doing, just inform, and it will make your life a lot easier, and everyone in your life will also be happier.
It's the way to drop resistance, and you'll find out the degree to which it does and how it is you do that as soon as you're experimenting with just informing people of what's the scoop along the way. And if it's hard to inform them because you don't want to get stopped, play with that. Doesn't mean inform perfectly every time. It means watch how it would have been easier had you when you choose not to. Right? Because the experiment is still, people should know that when you hop into the human design experiment, like, and you're just getting in and you're here watching this, the movement from this not self sort of conditioning that is heavy out of that into yourself, you got to take one with the other for a while you're getting your sea legs to be yourself again, right? It's hard to just jettison what was, so you got to live through it. That means you'll be it. So I love this manifestor. It's designed to basically push back resistance, and if you ever want to get somewhere, fall in behind a manifestor.
Yeah, having a good manifestor in your life is absolutely life-changing, especially like as a projector, where it's just like my aura just collapses. If I'm trying to do something that's like with other people or making other people do things, like it can just be like this, and then I just collapse. Whereas manifestors in my life, like they can just like do the thing and like make it happen. And it's so impressive. Like manifestors, you're incredibly impressive. Just let us know what you're doing, you know? And even the silly stuff. Like I think the silly little things are actually the easiest to practice with human design, of just be like, hey, I'm gonna go take a walk. Even if you don't like have to tell them, you're not asking permission, just be like, I'm gonna go do this. Hey, I need some alone time. I'm gonna, make some food, whatever. Like the tiniest little things, just like informing and tell people stuff, and just see how people will almost be like, I don't even care, why are you telling me? And
Right.
that can be tempting to then not tell them, but the more you just do it, nobody will care, and you can just like do what you want, and then you experience the peace of the manifester.
You should recognize as a manifestor, people already sort of want to get out of your way.
Oh yeah.
You got that going. And the more they're your friends and they love you, the more they don't mind stepping out of the way. It's just, they've been trained and it's
Yeah,
good for them.
just
It's
let us know
healthy.
you're coming, and I will happily move out of the way. Like, here
Yeah.
you go, I will like lay down the red carpet, just let me know and don't bash into me.